Welcome back to my channel. My name is Candy, and today we are working on a summer project that I was really inspired by Up All Night with Monica. She recently did two very cute ice cream characters um, that were like Halloween themed for the summer. And I thought that was so cool because I love Halloween. Um, Halloween is sprinkled throughout the whole year for me. I watch different movies throughout the year that are horror movies and stuff. And I thought, oh, how cool, you know? I love summer. I know some people don't, but I'm one of them. And I just thought it would be so cool to take this. I thrifted this probably about a month ago, and it's actually a donut cart from Shopkins, and I wanted to transform this into an um, ice cream cart. And I want to make a ghost that's going to be pushing this little ice cream cart around selling um, delicious Halloween themed ice cream. I even have these little glasses I'm thinking about putting on the ghost. I'm not that far ahead yet. But I do need to make some alterations on this one because of it being a donut. I want to cover that up because it's on both sides. There's actually no paint on this side, but I want to put a thin layer of Model Magic on the wheel and the front and back of this to cover up all this. I've already added Model Magic within this hole because there was like a sign, a Shopkins sign on top, because I'm going to be covering this whole thing up, I think, with fabric. So that's what we're going to do right now. All right. So I went ahead and made a pattern of this front piece out of parchment paper, um, so that I can roll it out and hopefully lay it flat. Okay, I wanted to show you where I'm at so far. So I got both sides covered in the wheel. I also covered up this part. It was like a half a donut. And I covered both sides because I thought it would be cute to have like maybe a little face peeping out, like a little creature or some kind of Halloween something there. But I wanted to show you, because I like the stripe pattern in here, I wanted to continue that around, so I had to so I went ahead and made like a template of this strip, and then I went along and used my ruler to make indents in here. Now it's not perfect, but because it's in this, I wanted to continue as much as possible. Hi, and welcome back. So, a lot has happened since the last time I filmed. so, I I've done a lot. I feel like I made an unintentional kit, like little miniature kit for this um for this project. And I want to go ahead and explain all the parts that I've worked on, that I'm adding, because I am going to go and paint this whole thing with white spray paint, as well as this foam pumpkin. I'm going to paint white. And these little containers I've made out of air dry clay, I'm going to be painting those white, as well as these. These are for the ice cream. So I really wanted to use what I already had. And so I looked through my stash. I made, well, not made, I had this little clear compartment that was part of a candy miniature set that had little candies, and I thought it would be perfect for ice cream. I made these to fit perfectly inside of this clear container. And how I did that, I used parchment paper, and then I had this laid over inside, and this was much neater than what I'm doing right now. But what I did is I put the air dry clay in there to mold it in, and so then when I lifted it, it was perfectly formed. And then I let that dry. So that's the other thing too. There was a lot of dry time. There was dry time on the modifications on the cart, dry time on these little containers that are going to have the toppings, and dry time on the ice cream, as well as the toppings. So I went into my thread stash, and I'm going to be making the toppings out of these yarn and thread. So these are going to be like, I had to dip all of these individually. So I have a black, a brown. I had this black and white twine, and then I had different color threads that I dipped into glue, took it out, let that dry. So that was its own dry time. Because these are going to be the sprinkles, the multicolor Jimmy sprinkles. This is going to be chocolate bits, black licorice, and this is just going to be a fun black and white, I don't know, Halloween topping. um, Also, I created a pattern for the ice cream inside so that because when I looked at ice cream carts, usually this would be sunken down in, but since I'm already using an existing cart, um, I did see one where it was like you could kind of see the ice cream when it's like raised up. So I made a pattern to go around so that it would hold, you know, at a like a 90-degree angle so you could see the ice cream. Because I'm going to be painting this silver, so it represents kind of like the freezer where the ice cream is being stored. And then I made the sign, and I made that in Canva. This stripe fabric is going to go on the top here. So that would be like for the canopy, I guess that's what that would be called, over the ice cream cart. I also made a cover, a clear cover out of recyclable plastic that from a, I think this was from a doll, but like the plastic, and that's going to go in here where it protects the ice cream. And then I also made this chocolate syrup bottle. And so it looks like that. And I made this, I'm going to be making another one and I'll show you how I did that. I made this out of, um, this was actually the holder for like a balloon. If you know, like balloons will have those like plastic handles attached to it. This was from a plastic balloon. This is a plastic balloon holder. I don't know what that's called, but what I did, I cut down two of them and then I used a tack and I cut off the top of this, and the top of this looks like the top of a bottle, like that. So this one is going to be caramel syrup, another topping. So this is the chocolate syrup one, and I'll explain more later on that. But I wanted to close off, like, I didn't want to see that, and I wanted to close off because I'm only going to be concentrating on this space. So I'll be painting those white too. So that is everything, I believe. So I'm going to be painting the things I said before white, and then we will be able to come paint, put things together, and start to decorate this very cute ice cream cart for Summerween. I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. I did quite a bit of painting on this ice cream Halloween or Summerween ice cream cart. And I've marked out parts I want to paint. I've also added some more alterations because I removed this piece that was there and there was this kind of pattern I didn't like, so I put some um, like cereal box material I cut out and I eyeballed and measured it. When I measure, sometimes I use a ruler, but a lot of times it's a mix between using a ruler and eyeballing it. I did use silver puffy paint here because I'm going to be painting um, the handle that pushes the cart silver, and the inside that's silver. That's going to be where the ice cream goes. So I'm going to start painting the inside of all of this black, even though I'm going to go over it this side with silver paint. Adding the black first is going to allow the silver paint to show. So we're on to the next step. I've painted everything twice. I didn't realize how much of it was going to have black, but I'm liking how it is looking. It's looking very Beetlejuice essence, which I'm not mad about. But once we start painting and adding things, then it'll start to look a little less Beetlejuice. So I think the first thing, one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and, because this half is going to be silver, because that's going to represent where the ice cream gets cold. So I'm just going to go ahead and trace, not trace, but divide the line in there. Don't know if you can see I made a pencil line because I'm just going to be doing this part silver and this silver. Those are the only things that's going to be silver. And then this side, both sides are going to be, because it's like a, it looks like syrup or even chocolate. To me, it looks like chocolate dripping on the side. So I'm going to do that brown and then do the sprinkles that are on the side. Um, Different colors. And then these two are going to be orange because I believe they're going to be pumpkins peeking out from over the cart. So I'm going to get the silver. That's what. And I am going to show the pumpkin that I realized I had orange spray paint. So I spray painted this orange so it's a beautiful shiny orange. And I also painted the little containers I made orange as well. So orange is definitely going to be like the pop of color. For this pumpkin, I wanted to make a one-eyed pumpkin. So I had this little eyeball and I'm going to put it in the middle here. I just thought that would be so fun, creepy, and cute. And I'm just going to get my X-Acto knife. Actually, I want to trace out the eye because I want to be able to push it in. I don't want it to like lay on the top. That didn't show up at all. So I'm going to use my black fine pen Sharpie. So let's try this again. Turn it. All right, so that showed up, and now I just need to get my X-Acto knife and so I like that. So it's in there. And then I just want to make the stem green. So I got this Christmas green. And I'm only going to do one coat on here. I don't think it needs 2 coats, but I will go over with Mod Podge to make sure that the color stays. I like that in this one coat you can see the details of the stem. So I'm going to leave it like that. And this is where we're at so far. All right, so I'm back. I've done the 2 coats, and I'm going to keep with the one eyeball theme. Since I have an eyeball for this pumpkin, I'm just going to put an eyeball, draw an eyeball, and paint in the sprinkles. But right now I'm going to move on to, because I got a lot of different things going on here. So this is the canopy, and this is the striped fabric I have that I'm going to glue, because this doesn't fit perfectly, so I'm going to just glue down like this and then trim. Okay, so we got the 4 colors of ice cream. I'm just gonna push over there because now I want to show you how I'm gonna make the toppings. Oops. And I'm sure these will need another coat, but they have to have time to dry. And I have the 4 containers here that are orange. And I have the toppings here. So I'm going to do the sprinkles first. So that's going to be sprinkles, and I'm going to be cutting the same thing with these, the black licorice, the chocolates, and a very fun kind of black and white topping. So that's what I'm going to be doing for those. And I made this bottle and the label from Canva, but I want to show you how I did that. And then these 2 are going to dry. So when it dries, I'm going to put the top on, and then I will put the label on, which it's very tiny, barely can see, but it says creepy caramel syrup. So then I'll have my 4 containers of toppings and 2 syrups to choose from for the Halloween ice cream. Okay, so it's the next day, and I've worked on quite a few things, but the thing I want to work on right now is the ghosts for this ice cream house. So I had a plastic bottle that was like dome that I cut out, and I made sure that it was the right height for my cart. And because I cut the top off, there was a hole, so I just did tissue paper on top to close that hole off, because I'm going to cover it in white air dry clay. I have an ice cream scoop. This was in a bag of little figurines that I got. It was just a random piece in my thrifted bag. So I painted this scoop. That was the original color, which was pink. And then I colored the top of it chocolate color. And there's sprinkles that I'm going to use my acrylic paint pens to put in. And then I have the cool glasses because I feel like sunglasses feels appropriate for this ghost who's going to be selling ice cream. And for the glasses, I'm going to be painting a coat of pink, hot pink, and then coating it with fluorescent hot pink after it dries. And then I will fill it in with this black paint, fabric puffy paint in here so that it has like the sunglass look. So that's what it's looking like. And I'm happy. Oh, there's a spot I need to pull down because I don't want, so it looks like that. So I just want to squish it so it's holding that in and down, but I want it to dry like this. And I am going to go ahead and put the hat on because I want that to already be in so that I already have how I want to place, where I want to place the sunglasses. I'm going to put the hat on because I've looked at this, like it almost felt like it was like a little hat and it looks so cute already. So I will probably paint under because I didn't realize there was some of the pink showing, but that's okay. But I want this to all to dry. And now I'm going to go ahead and get my paint pens. And so this is what it's looking like. I'm trying to determine. I think I might have this side be the front. So it's looking like that. Makes me think of Cousin It. So I want to put that like that. And we're going to go ahead and paint the little sunglasses. And letting it dry. And then I'm going to, like I said, do the fabric paint in there, the inside. And then I will stick the, once this is dry, stick the glasses here. And then I will do a traditional like boo like mouth on the ghost. So this is going to take time to dry. So I'm going to push this aside and show you where I'm at with the cart, which has come out really nice. So I added eyes to the parts where it's orange because it seemed to really, I've already created a theme unintentionally with this eyeball, so I wanted to keep that theme going. Is I pre-cut this plastic from recyclable and I pre-measured and out these little inserts for the top and bottom shelf. And these windows, well, I'm calling them windows, but they look like little windows in a haunted house. So I thought it would be very cool to have these plastic inserts, which I covered in yellow tissue paper. So it's going to be inside here, and it's just going to look like kind of like spooky windows. So if when I put this insert in, it just kind of has like a haunted house feel, and this is where the ghost is going to be, and then the toppings. So I'm going to be gluing those in right now. That's what it's looking like. I think that looks very cool. I've thought about trying to do lighting, but maybe in the future that'd be very cool to be able to highlight the window and the bottom of this so it's like a light up. But I'm going to be doing the same step on the top. So I'm just going to put that to the side and let it dry. And then I want to show you, I have like 2 inserts I need to put in that are already painted in Mod Podge. And so those are going to go in there. But I'm going to do that off camera. And so for this one, this is what's going to hold the ice cream. And I've already painted, like I noticed in images that this was silver. So I've already pre-painted it black. And I want to go ahead and paint that, the nickel silver that I got going on. Okay, so that's now silver. I don't think I'm going to need another coat, but perhaps. And I wanted to show you that I made a ice cream scoop out of air dry clay and a toothpick, but they have to dry. And I made 2 little spoons out of air dry clay and like a flat toothpick. So these are in their drying process that I'm going to add to the ice cream cart. When you see it again, it'll be totally complete, but I just wanted to show you. Now we're going to be finishing off everything, so, and putting everything together. So that is it. I'm going to be showing some reveal pictures. Hopefully I get some good shots, some interesting shots. But this is what it's looking like. Everything in place. And I think it turned out really nice. And I really like how Scoops turns. At his cart, ready to serve some spooky Halloween treats for Summerween. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this process. I hope to be able to make some more Summerween miniatures. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.